There doesn't seem to be any slowdown in the growing measles epidemic in West Texas.
New numbers show the measles virus spreading like wildfire. Texas, the center of the worst outbreak, now up to 223 cases, nearly double that from last month.
Measles is a preventable disease that the U.S. considered eliminated in 2000 through vaccines. But since late January, the outbreak has sickened more than 200 mostly unvaccinated people in West Texas. The majority are local Mennonites, a close-knit Christian community largely wary of Western medicine.
Vaccines are almost completely effective against the highly transmissible airborne virus. Between 25 to 40% of measles cases require hospitalization.
For respiratory distress and other serious and potential fatal symptoms of measles, which can kill you and which has already killed a child.
One unvaccinated school-aged child in that area died due to measles-related complications.
Officials saying that that child was otherwise a healthy individual, so officials really trying to encourage people to go out and get those vaccines.
Well, good morning, CHD. This is Doctors and Scientists, and I'm your host, Dr. Brian Hooker. We're going to go right to the situation in Gaines County, Texas.
We really wanted to find out for ourselves what was also going on down there, because the press was so badly reporting this. And we got the great honor to interview the little girl's parents, who were just the most fantastic couple.
Yeah. There was a tragic death, but as we've known happen in the past, Polly, the media just uses that as propaganda for go get your vaccines, go get your vaccines.
Well, so first of all, you've had a chance to look at the medical records of this 6-year-old girl.
Yes.
Tell us what you found so far.
What I found was that she entered into the hospital and through emergency room on February 22nd. She had a measles rash, and she also had pneumonia. At that point, they diagnosed it as measles pneumonia and bacterial pneumonia as well. So she had what was considered a secondary bacterial infection. We want to bring on Dr. Pierre Corey. Dr. Corey is an expert in emergent care as well as pulmonology. Dr. Corey, you've had a chance to look at the medical records. What's your assessment?
Yeah, so I've done medical case reviews for malpractice lawyers for a good part of my career. And this case was tragic and really had nothing, I shouldn't say nothing to do with measles, but she did not die of measles by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, she died of a pneumonia, but it gets worse than that because she didn't really die of the pneumonia. She died of a medical error. She was recovering from measles, getting a secondary bacterial pneumonia. And let me give the hospital some credit. They correctly diagnosed her. They very quickly on admission realized that she was coming in with a secondary bacterial pneumonia. And I think that was an absolutely correct diagnosis. The treatment was absolutely incorrect. And when I say it has little to do with measles, secondary bacterial pneumonias can happen after any viral infection. And so, this is not, we're all, everyone's grandstanding and all this outrage over this measles. You see the media is going nuts about how everyone needs to get vaccinated. I would tell you just simple, straightforward, correct medical care. We've been treating pneumonias for decades with antibiotics, and this was just a tragic error of an insufficient and incorrect antibiotic regimen on admission.
Even though we've put out that this child was not killed by measles, they are still saying that this girl that died from measles, she categorically did not die from measles.
No, she did not, Polly. They wanted something that fit the narrative. And the narrative is the only way to prevent measles is to take your MMR shot that also covers mumps and rubella. And there is, it's a deadly disease. If you don't take the shot, you will die.
Basically, fever and body aches, sore throat, coughing, and of course the spots.
And how did you treat your children?
With the A and D.
And how are they doing now?
Actually, most of them are doing really well, and we did the IV infusion too. Adenitis, I think it was so easy. Like, it was not a big deal. We have not found that it's maybe a little bit worse than a regular flu, but it's not impossible.
So we have an 8-year-old daughter, a 6-year-old daughter, 3.5-year-old little boy, and then a 9-month-old little boy.
And have any of them got the measles? Have they had the measles?
They've all had the measles. Every one of them got it. The first one got a fever, and within 4 days she broke out in the rash. Within a week from when it started to when she was clear, she was back to her normal self, running around, playing.
How do you treat the measles?
We actually just, as soon as we heard that measles was spreading, we started giving cod liver oil. So we had been giving cod liver oil for a month prior to them getting it. I really believe that made a huge difference, because all of our kids, from when they started breaking out in a fever till they were past the point of being contagious, was a week max, maybe 8 days kind of thing.
So all of your children have had measles?
Yeah.
And they've all recovered?
They've all recovered. Ours breezed right through it. I mean, they had a couple of days of really high fever, but overall, nothing that we couldn't manage.
And they did not get the MMR vaccination?
They did not get the MMR vaccination. None of our children have had any of the vaccinations.
Okay, so when did he get it?
Well, it started Tuesday, but they fully came out yesterday.
So it's been a few days. And has the cough been?
He's been coughing really bad, and then I think he's got an ear infection as well.
Are you feeding him?
No, I bottle feed him.
Yeah. Well, you're in the right place. So what are you giving him?
I give him silver. I give him cod liver oil.
And do you have other children?
I have 2 more.
Have they had it?
They've both had it.
How old are they?
She's 4 and he's 2.
And they had it and they're over it? And they're doing okay?
Yeah, they're doing good.
All right, so, and you've all had measles? Okay, what was it like having measles?
It was like being sick, just a little bit worse. I was sick for about a week. Some fevers, but nothing too bad.
And how do you feel now?
Great.
You feel great. So you're glad that you've got it?
Yeah.
You had it?
Yep.
And what about you?
Horrible.
You didn't like it? How about you? How old are you, did you say?
I'm 17.
17. And what was it like having measles?
I have a new name for it, miserable.
Miserable measles?
It was so miserable. But I'm thankful I'm over it, and I'm never getting it again. It was bad, but I got over it, so.
Would you prefer to have got the MMR vaccination?
Oh, no. No vaccinations.
I did want to mention that the Mennonite community has been very vocal to me that they wish people would understand the choice in their mind is not between get sick with measles and die or take this shot that has no side effect. There's a legitimate conversation that I think we need to have. That's what they're asking of me.
How are you feeling? Touch measles yourself?
Yeah, I was pretty achy yesterday.
Yeah. Did you ever not have measles as a child?
No, I had MMR as a kid.
How many MMRs did you have?
I'd have to go back and look. I don't
But
know.
a few.
Yeah.
That doesn't work then, does it?
No, apparently not. Must wear off.
But you're feeling all right?
Today I'm better, yeah.
You just spots here or on your body as well?
Just my face, yeah. They came yesterday afternoon. I was achy. Friday afternoon, achy. Started, and yesterday was pretty achy. Little mild fever. Spots came in the afternoon. Today I woke up feeling good. So, mild case.
You're an amazing human being, you know that? You should know that. Thank God for you.
I know.
We don't want to keep you up with your people.
I'm just doing what any doctor should be doing.
What is your summary of what we've seen so far?
Well, I see no panic.
No masks?
No masks. People are coming in and with their children, with their families. I think that a lot of the reason that we're not seeing panic is because word is spread about what Dr. Ben Edwards is doing, what Dr. Richard Bartlett is doing in this area. And they're realizing that, you do need to treat. You do need to get appropriate help for the measles, but there's no fear. There is really no fear because of the cases that have recovered. You know, there have been over 200 cases of measles in this cluster in West Texas and eastern New Mexico, and those people are recovering. So you're not hearing about the recovering. You're not hearing about people getting better. You're not hearing about the rashes going away. You're not hearing about the cough go away. But that's actually what's happening, and I think that's what we're seeing on the ground here.
There's such a community effort. It was so beautiful to see. And what was driving it was love. Love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. I saw that on display this past 72 hours. So there are so many thank yous that I want to say to that community. It has touched me in my heart, and I'll never forget it.
I'm so grateful to you and to Brian Hooker and to Brian Burrows braving dust storms to get to West Texas to interview these parents, to meet Dr. Ben Edwards, who is treating other children, and really see on the ground what's happening. And it's very, very, very different from the mainstream narrative in every way.